So you're considering an off-grid water heater for cleaning and showering, but you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with all the available options. When I say off-grid, I'm not meaning specifically for camping and off-roading. I'm talking about any situation you wouldn't normally have hot water, from bathing an animal outside to having a hot shower when the power's out, all the way up to first response emergency issues. Well, CAMPLUX has come to the table with their revolutionary Nano 3 Pro, an all-in-one portable water heater with built-in lithium rechargeable battery and is fueled by 1-pound propane bottles. CAMPLUX reached out to us to see if we'd be interested in collaborating with them, and after delving into their ethos and exploring some of the specs and features on this Nano 3 Pro, I couldn't be more thrilled to check this thing out and share it with y'all. This thing is truly brilliant. So if you want to learn more about the CAMPLUX Nano 3 Pro and how it can bring your off-grid cleaning and showering to the next level, stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the Gator Overland channel. I'm John, and today we've teamed up with the fantastic folks over at CAMPLUX. Established in 2015, CAMPLUX has now solidified themselves as being the leading brand of portable water heater in the world, sold in over 15 countries. And they pride themselves on the 3 S's: sustainability, society, and security, where safety meets quality and adventure meets responsibility. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the features of the Nano 3 Pro, how to assemble, how to operate, and then we'll finish up with some efficiency testing. For your viewing convenience today, this video is timestamped, allowing you to go to any point in this video without having to scroll through. Don't forget to check the description below for links to the CAMPLUX website, as well as Amazon affiliate links for the Nano 3 Pro and contact information should you need to get a hold of me. Let's get started. So what makes the CAMPLUX Nano 3 Pro so revolutionary to the traditional portable water heater? And I'll put a picture of one over here so you have some reference. Well, for starters, they've relocated the water inlet and outlet ports to the side of the unit. The traditional model have the water inlet outlet port as well as the gas ports facing down towards the bottom, requiring you to either hang it up, affix it to a wall, or purchase a separate stand for it, which is just more space, more weight, more hassle at that point. All this needs is a flat surface and you're good to go. They've also incorporated the gas connection to the back of the unit. That's one less hose you have to deal with. Another thing that's great about it is how it is powered. So typical of the traditional models is a replaceable or a disposable battery, and when the battery is all used up, you have to replace it. There's no option for auxiliary power. This unit not only has the built-in lithium power that allows for hundreds of recharges, but it allows for pass-through charging, where you can put 12 volts to it, to your car, an adapter to the wall, and operate this unit, as well as simultaneously operating while recharging the unit. So even if the battery goes defective on this unit, you can still power it from another 12 volt source. Pretty awesome. The third thing is the 2-in-1 precision dial. So what you can do here is just set it on the temperature that you want and you're good to go. The typical of the traditional models, you have a gas inlet adjustment and a water temperature adjustment. It's just a little bit more finicky. This, you just set it what you want and forget it. Now that you know the revolutionary advancements of the Nano 3 Pro, I'll cover a few of the specs. It has the capability of producing 20,000 BTUs or British thermal units worth of heat. It has an onboard 4,000 milliamp hour lithium rechargeable battery that allows for pass-through charging as well as simultaneous operation while recharging, which I think is awesome. It has a battery life of about 1.5 hours. The recharge rate is going to be 1.5 hours up to 80%, and a full charge you can expect around 3 hours. It has a max temperature of producing at about 122 degrees. The fuel source is going to be propane. The recharge source is going to be 12 volts. The flow rate of the water pump is 0.8 gallons per minute, and that over 1.5 hours would produce around 72 gallons of hot water. Put that in perspective, that's about 14 5-gallon buckets of water at your temperature desired, which I think is awesome. Now, as far as the dimensions go, it's 15 3/4 inches long, 14.5 inches tall, including the handles, and about 6 3/4 inches narrow, which means you can put it pretty much anywhere you want to. And at that, it's a very manageable 13 pounds. That's less than 2 1-gallon jugs of milk. This thing's awesome. All right, let's cover some features, and safety first. Built in for your protection is a tilt sensor. Once it exceeds 30 degrees, it will power down the flame, power down the water pump, and it will resume operation with 2 cycles of the on button. It has a flow meter built in. Once you turn on the water pump, it will prime the unit. Once it recognizes the shower head is actually closed, it will have already started to automatically start the flame, but it recognizes immediately that there is no flow and it will power down the unit. Now when you turn it on, it recognizes that the flow is going, it will automatically start the flame, and seconds later you have water at your desired temperature. When you turn it off, it recognizes that, and you'll have 2 minutes of idle time, and then it will power down the unit to avoid any overheating. Now as far as overheating goes, you have a max temperature of 122 degrees. When it recognizes 122 degrees, it will automatically power down the system and resume operation once it recognizes that the temperature has dropped. Typically, it's just turning on the flow and it will recognize that the temperature has dropped. Definitely check, make sure that it's not too hot before actually using anything. Other simple features are the on-off button, simple point of contact, your simple dial right here. It shows your water inlet, water outlet temperature, which I think is really cool. It has the ability to increase the water temperature, ambient water temperature, 70 degrees. So for instance, if it was 32 degrees outside, you hook this unit up, it'll be 102 degree water availability to go up there. Ideal water temperature for a shower is 98 to 104. I found that about 109 on this thing is perfect for us, but super simple. It has an on-off button for the main battery switch right here, which allows for you to power from the lithium battery and or simultaneously charging. If you turn it off, it will not recharge. It will just power from your auxiliary source. Pretty cool. In the kit with your CAMPLUX Nano 3 Pro, you're going to get a user manual that is very well written, super high quality, detailed, colorful images, thorough all the way down to telling you error codes and troubleshooting should you have any issues or needing replacement parts. You're going to get a 12-volt DC adapter. You're going to get a water inlet hose that's about 5 feet. It's going to have a built-in water pump with electrical connector. It's made of a really high-grade, high-temp silicone tubing, very supple. You don't have to worry about kinks. And they're going to have a quick detached connector on it. It's really nice stuff. You're going to get about 8 foot of water outlet. You're going to get a shower head. You're going to get a shower head attachment. That way you can rest it on your unit when they're not in use. And you're going to get a gas pressure regulator. All right, now that we've talked about all the technicals, let's show you how simple and quick it is to set this thing up. It comes with your 2 water inlet and outlet hoses with a quick detach collar. I'll open up our ports here, and all you have to do is give a positive push with the red one. Same thing with the blue one here. And then we'll open up our connection port right here and find our 12-volt connector. This actually powers the water pump. And then from there, we go to the back side and we put on our pressure regulator. This slides on. You can feel it lock into place. And then there's a little collar that goes onto the threaded connection. There, it's nice and tight there. Now, if you do smell any gas in the process of putting this thing together, stop all movement, make sure that your connection is good. You can even use soapy water, make sure you have a good connection. If it smells like it's coming from internal, you need to get with CAMPLUX. I wouldn't advise taking anything apart. From there, we're going to connect our gas bottle to the back side. I can hear it hissing in. Now we're connected, we're ready to go. This right here is your shower head attachment. You can put it on right here, put it any position you want. It also has a built-in retention collar that allows for adjusting to your desired angle of putting the shower nozzle. Now, one really cool feature before I put the shower nozzle on there is this can actually fit into here, and you can use this as a sink. You just hit the on button for the pump. There's no button to recognize for it to be on off, and it would just go on and turn off. From here, you just connect the shower head, put that in there, assembled. That's simple, under a minute or so. Now that we've covered assembly, I wanted to take an extra moment to show some cool adaptations you can use for this unit. You're not limited to the little green tanks. With a set of adapters like you see here, I'll leave a link in the description below, but you can actually adapt it to use your JetBoil style tanks, or if you want to go the long term, you can use your normal grill propane tanks. It just goes directly into the pressure regulator. That's simple. All right, now for the moment I know everyone's been waiting for, how simple this thing is to operate. First, you want to make sure that the main battery switch on the bottom is selected. Come over here to the on button on the front. That'll turn on the display showing your water inlet temperature. We already have our water pump down in the water. It's attached to the hose. You just come here and press the pump. It'll prime the pump to the system. And as soon as you turn it on, it ignites the flame. You can hear it going. And that's already hot, showing 106 degrees. The water temperature is 66 degrees. You can dial it all the way up if you want to, dial it down if you need to. That simple. As soon as you turn it off, it extinguishes the flame, or optionally, it turns it off in 2 minutes. Turn it back on, reignites, that simple. Now, in between showers, you want to come over here to the water pump, turn that off. That way you're not using any extra energy. Now, as far as for recharging and storage, that's what that switch on the bottom is for. You want to make sure you have a full state of charge whenever you store this thing, 100%, and then switch the thing to off. That way you don't have any option for it to actually have any draw on the system. Now, as far as simultaneous charging, you want to make sure that the button is on and then connect your 12-volt source to right here. It will do simultaneous charge and operation at the same time. Now, if the button is off and you have it connected to your auxiliary power source, it will only power from the auxiliary source. It will not recharge. Next, we're going to do our efficiency testing, and this is going to be a twofold test. We're going to see how much power it actually consumes. This has a really accurate digital readout showing how much actual power this thing is using, and we're going to see how long it takes to drain a 5-gallon jug. So we're going to get the timer set up right here. I bypassed the lithium power, and we're only going to be running off the EcoFlow. The EcoFlow will tell us how many hours it will actually run this unit, which is really cool. So power's there, power on the unit, pump, on, start. Right now, it's showing that it's operating, which is basically the pump right now, at about 35 watts. Divide that by 12, that's about 2 to 3 amps. And it's showing that you have about 23 hours of runtime just by operating it off the EcoFlow, which is awesome. But now we're just gonna sit and wait until the 5-gallon jug is empty. All right, as you can see, we're right at about the 7-minute mark on this, which actually exceeds my expectations. Oh, there it is. 5 gallons is out. Basically 7 minutes of operation. I'm gonna turn off that pump right there. I mean, 7 minutes is probably 3 times a normal shower that I would take anyway. Where it stop on there? There it is. We'll call it 7 minutes of 104 degree, 106 degree temperature water. I mean, that's plenty of time. If you're doing that on and off in between each one, multiple people, don't forget there's different shower head nozzle options on there as well. But 7 minutes is pretty substantial for the amount of time that you can do this. Awesome. Now that you understand a little bit more about the specs, features, how to assemble, and how simple it is to operate, you can understand how convenient having an off-grid portable water heater could be for your kit. As far as final fit and finish, I'm super happy with the unit. It's a good size, good weight. The only mention that I would have, just to be aware, is the connection here on the back side. I see it's a little bit wobbly. I don't know what the integrity will be like that for a long period of time. I'm just gonna put something underneath it to help ease some of that leverage on there. It'd have been nice if they have a little base that maybe folded out or a strap that kind of give it a little bit more stability. But other than that, this thing rocks. Now, something that's not included in the kit that I wanted to give a mention to is a carry bag. They don't offer one yet. They said that they're considering it. And I found this Sea to Summit bag. It's a 13 liter. It's mesh, as you can see, which allow for evaporation. I'll probably put it right there with a little strap on there to hold it all together. But I think that's a really nice thing to have in the kit. I couldn't decide between that one or this particular bag. They're both fairly inexpensive, under 20 bucks. This one has a nice little backpack style with a little zipper pocket and a spot you can put maybe your soaps or something like that. But overall, I think this thing is brilliant. You guys are gonna love it. And that about wraps things up. If you enjoyed today's video, found it informative or helpful in making your decision to go with the CAMPLUX Nano 3 Pro, give us a big thumbs up. Let us know how we're doing. Share if you'd like, I'd appreciate that. For a heads up on any future installs or adventures, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell. You can follow us along our journey. Don't forget to check the description below for links to websites for the CAMPLUX Nano 3 Pro, as well as Amazon affiliate links for anything you've seen here today, and contact information should you need to get a hold of me. Remember, we at Gator Overland encourage each and every one of you to take a daily moment to unplug and reconnect with the outdoors, even if it's just for a few minutes. Have fun, keep it safe, and just go. Thanks, y'all.